Principles for success. Happy beautiful day, Pete Cohen here. Welcome to another YouTube video. Let's get stuck in to principles for success. Look, let's be brutally honest here. What do you want in your life? I bet there are certain things that you want in your life. We call it the big three. Yes, and this is a magic wand in my hand. Do you believe in magic? Well, whether you do or whether you don't, you're right. It was Henry Ford who said that. Whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you're right. Magic, you might have heard of the word abracadabra associated with magic. What does abracadabra mean? It means I create as I speak. It comes from a Hebrew word. I create as I speak. So if you want success in your life, you need to say what that success is. We know, for any of you that watch any of our YouTube videos, we talk a lot about this, the big three, that most people are interested in having success, improvement, growth with their health, their relationships, their wealth, and their work. If you want to have success in any of those areas, you're going to need some principles. What are principles? Principles are like a recipe. So if you want to be healthier, if you want better health, more energy, you want to make improvements with your wealth, earn more money, there are certain principles that have been proven to work. You know, you might have heard this. There is no such thing as an overnight success, right? Have you ever heard that before? They say an overnight success takes 10 years. And also that success always leaves clues. So when you look at successful people and you look at what they've done, you will see that they've used certain recipes. I want you to think about the recipes as a way of helping you have success. So what is the success that you're looking for? What does that actually look like? The recipe is almost like the operating system, the system that will guide you to growth. And we know that there is a gap, right? And it's important to think about the gaps. This is what I do as a coach. The role of a coach is to take someone from A to B. In fact, the word coach actually comes from a coach and horses. This is supposed to be a coach, by the way. So where are you and where do you want to be? This is what we specialize in and all the work that we do with people. It's about helping people close those gaps, because if you don't close those gaps, this is where for so many people worry, fear, doubt, depression, anxiety, because they are not growing. So I want you to really think about, take some time to think about in your life, what would this look like if you had better health? What would it look like if you had more meaningful, impactful relationships with people? If you were earning more money or you were enjoying what you were doing more, what would that look like? Because if you know what it looks like and you have that idea in your mind, this is what I want you to think about. A compass. You know, if you pointed the compass so it went north, north is kind of where you're going, your North Star. But if you don't know where you're going, what do you think will happen? Or if you don't know what you want in a way that really attaches emotion to you, you will just very easily get knocked off course. And before you know it, you'll be looking at some other shining object. So I want to share with you what my principles are. These are 7 principles that I live and I die by. I've been using these for years and they have helped me have incredible success. So are you ready for me to share some of my principles with you? So the first one says future. What does that mean? Well, I believe that my future is unwritten. It's not written down somewhere. And even if it was written down, I don't know whether I would actually want to read it. Now, can you take a moment to acknowledge the fact that your future is unwritten? Because my guiding principle in believing that guides me every single day, in that everything I'm doing every day is writing my future. That's my first principle. The second principle is power. What does that mean? I mean, you have the power to change. Your future's unwritten and you have the power to do something about it. What's really interesting about human beings is that great ability that we have to overcome adversity and difficulty only ever really comes to town when we are faced with adversity. There's a prognosis, there's a diagnosis, and then all of a sudden we behave in a way we wouldn't. But if you realize that your future is unwritten, then you can start to think about, well, what is the power that I need to bring into play to start making changes in these areas? The third principle that I live by is about encouragement, encouraging, always looking to encourage other people. Encourage. Courage is having the heart. So every single day I go out of my way to pour encouragement into other people, for people to have the heart to go out and create the life that they want. And you know what? I also encourage myself. I recognize what I'm doing. I recognize what I'm doing right now. And I'm going to give myself a pat on the back, because I know there's going to be at least one person that watches this video and goes, you know what? I'm going to decide what my principles are, and I'm going to live by them. They're a recipe for success. The fourth principle that I live by is gratitude. Being grateful. I want to be great. I want to be full up with gratitude. So this means every single day I'm grateful for what I have. But this might sound a bit strange to some of you, that I'm even grateful for the challenges that come my way, because I know that the only way I'm going to grow is by being grateful for the challenges that come my way. We know a great life, it doesn't happen by chance, it happens by design. And part of that designing process is going through something that's difficult. Look, if you go outside today, in fact it's pouring with rain here, that rain is challenging anything that wants to grow. If you want to grow, you're going to come up against challenges, and this is why it's essential to have principles for success. The fifth principle is reason. What does that mean? I believe everything happens for a reason. You don't have to believe that, but I promise you, with everything that happens, like COVID and all the other challenges that we face, I believe there is a reason. And I might not necessarily know the reason at the time, but I tell myself when I get through this, I will find what the reason is. I will find a meaning that is liberating to me, so that when I face a similar problem, I can deal with it. Number 6 is Kaizen. I don't know if you've ever heard of Kaizen, but that comes from a Japanese word which means baby steps. That every single day I'm taking steps. Every single day I'm taking steps. I'm taking steps to my death. I know that one day I am not going to be here, but until that time, I'm going to continue to grow, continue to learn, because I know what I want to leave behind. And that's what all of this represents, because the last in my guiding principles is to never give up. Never, ever, never give up until there is no life left. Now, ultimately, this is what drives me. I really want you to think about principles are what drive your life. What is success to you? For me, the ultimate success is when I get to the end of my life, I can look back and see what I did. Look, I just want to finish up here on a couple of really important points. To face the truth of who you are is to recognize that basically you always have a choice. That's what separates us to all other animals. But one of the biggest choices that people make is the choice to think that the way that they think is right, even though deep down when they know that it's wrong. People tend to hold on to ideals. People tend to hold on to something that maybe was true once upon a time, to let go of old ways of thinking and learn how to identify with the person that you are capable of becoming. This is what we teach people. We have a free 30-day program, the My365 Kickstart. You can do it. You'll see the link to that in the description here. It's for you to recognize where you are today and recognize where you want to be in the future, and start acting to identify with who you're becoming. Because if you can't identify with who you're becoming, I promise you, your life will be the other way around. Your life will be dictated by how you feel. How you feel will dictate your actions, and most times you won't feel like doing anything, and that will be your identity. And that's why there's so many people all over the world right now who don't feel like doing something and they won't do it. That's their choice. But what about you? Why are you watching this video, and what do you want the main takeaway to be from what I'm sharing with you? Could you identify with the person that you're becoming? Could you start taking some baby steps? In the comments below, let me know any of the principles that you have, or any of these principles that you want to use. I don't own these principles. People have been using them for thousands of years, and now you can too. So what is your biggest takeaway? Principles for success? What are principles? They're like a recipe for creating the success that you're looking for, so that you can continue to grow, fill in the gaps. I believe coaching can really help you. Check out my 30-day program. It's free. Check out where you're going. Decide what this is going to look like. You better health, you better relationships, you doing what you love to do more of the time, maybe earning more money, and applying these principles as you continue to move forwards in your life. What was your biggest takeaway? Maybe it's abracadabra and it's time to speak what it is that you want to create. Thank you so much for watching this video. Check out some of the other videos in the channel. They're all here to help you go from where you are to where you want to be. Abracadabra.